Interstate 82. Yeah. Alright, today we are looking at Interstate 82. It goes through some high desert in central and eastern Washington and a little bit of Oregon. Take a look at the map here. It goes from just south of the Washington-Oregon border near Hermiston to Ellensburg, Washington. But more importantly, it's part of the major route that would get you from Salt Lake City or the interior west and Midwest to Seattle. You're watching Control City Freak. This is the YouTube channel where we talk about interstate highways and the places that they are assigned to go to. If you dig this kind of content, why not give us a like? And if you really dig it, why not subscribe? Yeah, subscribe. Alright, first we're going to talk about Eastbound 82. We're on I-90 here, and we see exit 110 coming up, and it's going to be East 82 for Yakima. At nearby interchanges, we see 82 assigned as well, so we see East 90 to 82, Spokane and Yakima. And when we're coming the other direction, when we're going eastbound, we also see East 90 Spokane and East 82, South 97 Yakima. Once on the road, we get an overhead mileage sign right away, so that's pretty cool. And we see Yakima is only 32 miles away. At interchanges, not too surprisingly, it is 80 East Yakima. The road from Ellensburg to Yakima is pretty sparse. You're just out in this desert kind of area. It's pretty cool looking. And here's another look at the area here. Pretty impressive. We reached the Yakima area, so we're meeting US 12, and now we're going to be signed 82 East Richland. Welcome to Yakima, the Palm Springs of Washington. Okay, whatever that means. And that's a Costco distribution center there too. Apparently there is a Costco in Yakima, which really surprised me. It must be one of the smaller markets that Costco's in. We're meeting US 97 south for Bend, Oregon, so that's a pretty awesome sign. Bend, famously one of the larger cities that does not have any sort of interstate access, and home of the last blockbuster video in the world. At these interchanges, we're just beyond Yakima, so it's already 82 West Yakima, even though we're kind of in the Yakima area here, and 82 East Richland. I'm not sure if Richland is the best choice. It's the Tri-Cities, and I feel like Kennewick would probably be better since it's the biggest one. We get a mileage sign with Richland on the bottom line, so that makes sense. At a lot of these intersections, we get 82 East Sunnyside Richland. A lot of them have a secondary marked on the signs, and some of them just have the secondary. For example, here, we just get 82 East Prosser instead of mentioning Richland, so not sure why they do it this way, but going Illinois style maybe? And we get another mileage sign, Richland still on the bottom line. Now we branch out a bit, we get Richland, Kennewick, and Umatilla, which is actually in Oregon, on the bottom line now. We meet 182, which was originally going to be the route of 82, but then they decided to route 82 a bit west of the Tri-Cities area. And 182 is signed for Richland and Pasco. And again, I gotta wonder why they don't mention Kennewick, since it's the biggest one of the Tri-Cities. 182 is the route to Kennewick here, and 82 East, Umatilla, and Pendleton, which is pretty bad. Now we're getting Pendleton on the bottom line, since that is where 84 is signed for eastbound in Oregon. We meet 395, so Kennewick is finally signed, but we've gone well beyond the Tri-Cities area at this point. You would have gone pretty out of your way if you're going to Kennewick by this route. You would have taken 182 originally. Umatilla and Pendleton. Pretty small places. And at intersections, we're getting 82 East Pendleton. And we're still in Washington. We get 3 Oregon cities on the mileage sign here, and none of them are really particularly well known. We're crossing the Columbia River into Oregon. Welcome to Oregon. Been a long time since we've been here. Washington too. 395 splitting off here for Umatilla and Hermiston. I-82 is now just signed for I-84, Portland and Pendleton. We haven't reached I-84 yet, but we get an I-84 shield right there. On the mileage sign, Junction 84, 8, Pendleton 40, Portland 187. So pretty much makes sense. And finally, we get our split of 84 Pendleton, 84 West Portland. Don't really agree with 84 East being signed for Pendleton. I'll talk more about that in an 84 episode in a couple of weeks, but I think it should probably be a city that starts with B and ends in E, and in the middle is Boise. Alright, let's take a look at westbound I-82. When we're going east on I-84, we get 84 East Pendleton, Ontario. That's horrible. Ontario, only because it's the last city in Oregon. They should have Boise there. 82 West Hermiston and Umatilla. Again, we're getting the only 2 Oregon cities that 82 goes through, without mentioning the vast majority of 82, which is in Washington. I do understand that probably not many people are going down 84 and then going back west on 82 to get to Yakima or wherever, but still, put it in the Tri-Cities. Kennewick should be on that sign. Going westbound on 84, this is kind of the more natural movement to get onto 82, and 82 is signed again, Umatilla and Kennewick. It should be, I'll talk about what that should be soon. You're watching the video already. That should be Seattle. Seattle should be on that sign. We are on West 82, and in Oregon, they do it just like they did in Washington. We get an overhead mileage sign right away. So we get Umatilla, Kennewick, and Yakima. But I do believe on westbound 82, Seattle should be signed in every one of these. In intersection, we are signed for West 82, North 395, Kennewick, Spokane, because 395 is going to Spokane. Across the Columbia River again, and damn! Welcome to Washington, the evergreen state. All right. And you see some of the hydroelectricity from that dam right there. Now we're getting 82 West Kennewick, which I think can work at intersections like this. But again, on 82 pull-throughs, it should just be Seattle, I think. Here we're meeting 395 to 182 Kennewick Pasco. Makes a bit more sense going in this direction. This is actually the only direction I've ever been on I-82 as well. 395 North, Spokane, Walla Walla, next right. On 395, we get 82 East, 395 South, Umatilla, Pendleton, and 82 West, Yakima at this point. I've been at this 395 intersection. The one time I did 82 was on a road trip with 2 buddies, mentioned it before. We'd been driving all night. My buddy got off at this exit and started slowing down once he was on the road, and I was like, dude, why are you slowing down? And he was like, there's a stoplight. I was like, that stoplight's not for another mile, man. How come you're slowing down now? So clearly we had to switch, and it was my turn to drive. So I got on to drive 82. Here is 82's intersection with its only child route, 182, east for Richland and Pasco. So let's take a look at 182. On 182, we get a mileage sign right away. Richland 5, Pasco 13. Not sure why Kennewick's not on there too. We're meeting East 240 for Kennewick, and George Washington Way is our next exit. Across the Yakima River here, which 82 pretty much follows through much of its route in one way or another. And we're getting to the end of 182. We have 395 South Kennewick, Pendleton, and I believe we are in Pasco right here. Walla Walla, Spokane for through traffic, because there's a couple of different roads. One goes to Walla Walla, one goes to Spokane. In fact, here we see 395 for Spokane right here, and going straight will lead you to Walla Walla. Alright, coming the other way, we get 12 East, Walla Walla and Lewiston, and 12 and 182 West for Richland. So that makes sense. We are in the Pasco area, so signing it Richland does work. 182 West, 395 South, Richland, Pendleton here. And we remain signed for Richland, so that makes sense. On exit signs, we get 182 East Pasco this way, and 282 Yakima and Pendleton. So this would be in Richland, so our choices are Pasco and I-82. Merging back with I-82, we get 82 West, Prosser, Yakima. No, Yakima, Seattle. Yakima, Seattle is what that should be. And Umatilla, Pendleton, I would go with Boise, Portland, honestly. We continue along 82, now we get Prosser, 19, Yakima, 69. Nice. And 82 West for Grandview and Yakima. Again, we're getting secondary control cities and Yakima on a lot of these signs. Yakima 40 miles away now on this mileage sign. And in Yakima, we are now getting 82 West, 97 North, Ellensburg. Ellensburg, that's where we meet I-90, but the way we're angled, not too many people are going to be going eastbound on 90 at this point. So I really think this should probably just be Seattle. Junction 90, 28, Ellensburg 31, because there's really nothing between here and the 90 junction. As we saw. I do think Seattle should be on that sign though. And we look more at the sparse environment out here. Pretty cool. This is the old road that I-82 replaced. It goes right through the Yakima River Valley and Canyon. So this looks like a pretty awesome scenic route if you're ever feeling like not taking I-82 to Yakima. And now we are meeting I-90, 90 West Seattle and East Spokane. Makes sense there. And we have an exit for 90 East Vantage and Spokane. The mainline lanes default to 90 West for Seattle. In fact, you get a 90 West sign before we've actually even met I-90. This is still technically I-82. And here we merge into 90 itself, West 90, Seattle. Alright, let's take a look at Todd's, the way it should be for I-82. I-82 East I'm going to say it should be Yakima. That's a fine pick there. I would go with Kennewick instead of Richland for the next control city. And then after that, after meeting 182, I would sign it Boise. And then after merging with 395 south of the Tri-Cities, I would sign it as Boise and Portland, because southbound traffic from the Tri-Cities could be going in either direction on I-84 there. And westbound, Seattle, the whole way. Seattle is what matters. It is a road to Seattle. It serves Seattle, even though it doesn't actually go there. All right, thank you for watching this episode of Control City Freak. I really appreciate it. We'll be back in Pennsylvania next week on I-83, so that should be cool. Baltimore stuff, though, so that'll be fun. Anyway, my name is Todd, and until next week, keep on trucking.